Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh man, I hope my dad doesn't come by my room for a while. He might because he was trying to order dinner and I think the place that he was trying to order from might be closed, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. He can just get whatever he wants. I don't need food. I'm playing games, father. I got my priorities in check, clearly. With that being said, time to dive right into Silence's operator record. Ha ha ha. New to the workforce. Boop. The way forward is a tough and tricky one, but as new blood, she's done well enough already. Boop. Wow, that's a lot. 10 stages and 4 interludes. No wonder why it's a 3-week event. Makes sense. I know I'm getting a message. Let's see. Ooh, wait a second. It's regarding a different food place for dinner. I'm gonna look at that real quick. I'm just gonna debate if I want something from there. Just a second. Yeah, okay. The place Dad is thinking of ordering from is actually interesting to me because I kind of want the food there. I won't deny myself that. So just a moment, let me look up a menu real quick. Why is he gotta get food now? What timing? But let me just stare. Don't mind me. Oopsies, I meant to go to menu, not order. I'm not ordering my own food. I'm being bad and taking the food that he buys. That being said, let me just stare real quick. What shall I eat for dinner? Oh, decisions. Part of me just wants to make instant noodles because if I don't eat it fresh, it's gonna be kind of sad. I won't deny that. So just a moment, just slowly scrolling, or quickly scrolling. Food? Do I want to eat that? Kind of, sort of, not really. Man, decisions. Do I want a sandwich instead? No, I don't. Yeah, I might just go for instant noodles because I have issues. Or actually, let me look at, like, the small menu. Because I want something that I don't have to worry about eating fresh. As in hot. Slowly, or quickly scrolling, I mean. I'll just say nah. I'll say I don't want food. I'll eat instant noodles if anything. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna text that to my dad. Okay, I want my Samyang Carbonara instant spicy noodles. Because that's something I don't have to eat hot. Okay, all good. Thank you so much, Silence. I wouldn't have been able to get into Rhine Lab to observe if not for you. No need to thank me. Just doing my job. It was worth it, waking you up every morning during exam weeks. I got myself up too. Twice in all those years. Congratulations on your Ho'oheok. She's avoiding me. I did not expect to get maxed Melantine though. And oh no, is my phone holder breaking? It's not staying up properly. Sad. Oh well. There are some real lookers at that company. Tell me the truth, anybody caught your eye? Huh? No. I've only been here a few days. Alright, I'll stop teasing you. I know how obsessed you are with science. You'll never take the initiative to ask anybody out. To be honest though, we're a little concerned. About what? Your shyness is your only flaw. Setting aside romance for a moment, we're worried that you won't be able to find a friend to talk to at work. You don't need to worry. All my colleagues are very nice. Nothing to worry about at all. I guess so. I'm in Trimount for 3 days, which means I'll be around for the weekend. Let's play Let's play all over Trimonts tomorrow. Good morning, Silence. Good morning, Mr. Miller. Happy Monday, Chris. Happy Monday, Susanna. Go anywhere over the weekend? Nope, stayed home and binged a whole season of Blood and Dividends. Oh, same here. Stayed up all night to finish it. You like that show, Silence? I haven't. Let's change the subject. What did you do over the weekend, Silence? Did you go out? Yes, an old classmate came to Trimonts, and we went to a bunch of places. I like to go out on the weekends when I first got here too. There are some choice places in town. Which is your favorite? Trimonts Common. The Common? But it's just a bunch of trees, why would you? Chris? Oh. Well, we've got a thing. Better get going. Happy Monday! Happy Monday! That's all for this week's agenda. Dismissed. Silence, a moment of your time. Of course, Doctor. How are things going on the job? I like the atmosphere here at the company. Everyone is very passionate. As you are yourself, your talent stands out, even in this place. I have high hopes for you. Thank you. But you have a tendency to be aloof outside of work. There are a lot of young people here. We need to maintain a collegial atmosphere. Whether it's having a chat or going out together, some social interaction can be conducive to our work. I understand. Of course you do. Everybody does. But the trick is to actually do it. Anyway, I'm not here to lecture you. I have a task for you. Like Parvis, what if I don't want to hang out with my coworkers? I'm not going to force you into a project or a team. Take a look around and see if there's a place in the structural section that interests you. I'll take your preferences and our needs into account. Team Sherman, focusing on originium particles pathology. They're currently working on... I guess Team 7 fits my preferences better. But that team is full of veteran researchers. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask to join them. Hey, you over there! Did you see a library woman who looks half asleep come through here? Library woman? Half asleep? Not you, of course. She's white hair and she's wearing... never mind. Doesn't look like she came this way. Don't think she's here, Karen. Let's look somewhere else. Where else could she have gone? Why can't she just stay put in her room? Are they looking for somebody? Library woman who looks half asleep. They might have mistaken me for her if she didn't have white hair. Only one team left. Let's see. Device number 9. Their office should be here. There's a thick coat of dust on the door. Huh? Library woman, white hair, half asleep. Are you the patient they're looking for? Or did you just happen to be unlucky enough to resemble the one they're looking for? Or are you a member of this team? Nods. I see. Yeah, she got that device number 9 in her head. I'm Olivia Silence. I joined Ryan Lab recently. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Silence takes a look at the dusty bulletin board. There is only one name on it. Joyce Moore. Are you Joyce Moore? Affirmative. Affirmative? Found her. You were just over there. Were you lying? Were you trying to help her avoid us? No, I didn't. Enough. This is Rhine Lab, not your college dorm. Did you think it was funny helping her play hide and seek? I'm not. Enough. I don't know what you were thinking, but you're interfering with our work. I'll report this. Karen, stop being a Karen. Thanks for the explanation. I'll clear this up. Thank you. Did something happen to Miss Moore's team? Why is her name the only one there? The team was disbanded after a failed experiment. That office has been empty ever since. The names of the others have been removed from the board, but Moore remains hospitalized, so her name has yet to be removed. When will she be able to return to work? Hard to say. The equipment used in the failed experiment remains in her brain. No one knows for sure what will become of her. What? How could that be? It's a sad story. Moore was an outstanding researcher who volunteered to be our test subject. You've seen what the failure of the experiment did to her. Some measure of sacrifice is inevitable in science. But perhaps we paid too high a price. Never mind that for now. I heard you went around to all the teams. Have you decided where you want to go? I want to use my time to help Miss Moore. You want to take over her treatment? Yes. I thought you were interested in the research that Team 7 is conducting. I was. But I saw how the two researchers responsible for taking care of Miss Moore treated her. If she paid an inevitable price for science, I don't think she should be treated like that. I want to help her. I'm sure if the same thing happened to me, you would do what you could to help me, wouldn't you? Of course. But it's a good idea to be prepared. Working at Rhine Lab has its risks. Huh? Take yesterday, for example. I lost a bet and almost had to go on a vegan diet for a week. If that's not fatal, I don't know what it is. You made your choice. Now you should make your preparations. Hopefully, you'll learn a thing or two in the process. And that's when they became besties. They let some fresh grad take my job. I thought you couldn't wait to hand it over. Now you got your wish. How much time are you planning to waste on a woman who got her brain fried in an experiment? Well then, Miss Moore's your responsibility now, Silence. Wait, you haven't told me what's going on with her yet. Read her medical record yourself. I like Silence, she's cool. She's like, look at this one. I want to take care of her. Like, look at how mean these researchers are being. Humph. And then she was allowed to adopt her. Cute. Huh? Miss Moore? Why are you standing? Let's see here. Joyce Moore exhibits cognitive and linguistic impairments. She has difficulty communicating, frequently talks to herself, but what she says is unintelligible. You're still weak, Miss Moore. You should go back to bed. Is she mute? Negative. Huh? Come to think of it, I think she said the word affirmative when we first met. But it's impossible to tell what she's trying to convey with that word alone. You're library, right? Affirmative. When you say affirmative, do you mean yes? Affirmative. Warning, potential misunderstanding. Dialogue is logically valid even if affirmative denotes negation of statement. Huh? Let me think. You're right! If affirmative means no, you would still have answered affirmative when asked whether affirmative meant yes. Oh, look at her! She's so understanding. Hello? You figured that out so quickly? Doesn't sound like cognitive impairment to me. Anyway, it's getting late. I'll fetch you lunch in the cafeteria. She's gone silent again. Warning. System. Unknown error. Miss Moore? Miss Joyce Moore? Her breathing is steady. as are her vital signs. Did she just fall asleep suddenly? There's some similarities with my own symptoms. How are you feeling today, Joyce? Increase in flexibility detected. High intensity rehabilitation exercises possible. Great. But you just exercised yesterday, and it's on the weekend. You should take a day off. Dr. Silence's instructions have proven effective, indicating considerable medical expertise. No, I only just graduated. Correction, Dr. Silence is a recent graduate with considerable medical expertise. Blushes! By the way, if you're not doing rehab today, I want to... Tilt's head. I want to watch a show in your room. Today, not a work day. It is recommended that Dr. Silence view the show at home with friends. Well, I don't have any Dr. Silence is welcome to watch here if the recommendation scenario cannot be achieved. Really? Affirmative. What is the name of the series? Blood and Dividends. Popcorn is recommended. Is there popcorn in the office? Leave this room, turn left, proceed 150 meters, then turn right and proceed 270 meters to find popcorn vending machine on the corner. Note that caramel flavored popcorn is suboptimal for the series. I wanna go to a popcorn vending machine, that sounds fun. And this friendship is adorable. Oh, we're out of popcorn. Yawns. Let's take a break, Joyce. Steady breathing. Is she asleep? Affirmative. It's fine. I have an neuropathy-related sleep disorder myself, so I understand. Dr. Silence demonstrated below-average attention during playback. Oh, you noticed. I'm not a huge fan of finance-themed dramas, but my colleagues are all talking about it, so I felt like I had to watch it. Inquiry. Why do you feel the need to watch the same drama? To fit in, I guess. Otherwise, we just don't have anything to talk about. I'm from a backwater with very little entertainment. When I went to college, my classmates helped me a lot. And I never had to try to fit in with the crowd. But now... Why do you find it necessary to conform to the collective? Huh? Dr. Silence does not appear particularly eager to build social relationships. I just felt like I should establish a good relationship with my colleagues, so I could be happier at work. Balance must be achieved between insufficient conformity and excessive conformity. You're right. Maybe I should return this.
What are you doing? You watch a show with her? Don't mind me, just came to get something I left. Kids these days have the weirdest ideas using a soap opera to teach you how to talk like a normal person.
That's not what she was doing, but at the same time, sir, watching TV helps you so much. I learned most of my speaking skills because of TV. Heck, I learned a lot of my reading skills because of TV. My family likes watching shows that need English subtitles, so in order to watch them with them, I had to learn how to read fast. So researchers see, you don't know what you're talking about. TV is the greatest. That's not it. And Joyce doesn't suffer from any cognitive impairment. Your reports are wrong.
And?
What do you mean by and?
So she has normal cognitive abilities, so what? What are you gonna do about it?
What in the? How could you falsify medical records like that, reporting symptoms that don't exist?
Enough, little girl. Spare me your worthless sympathy. I know her much better than you do. Why do you think she's been living in the wards? It's not because of her condition. It's device number 9.
What's the difference? Isn't device number 9 the cause of her condition?
Whatever. It's not like you'll listen. But you better realize that you're the one causing trouble here. Do you know how much data your sympathy has cost us?
Data? What data are you talking about?
You really don't know? It's so obvious that.
Please be quiet.
What?
Please be quiet. Please be quiet, Mr. Hancock.
Oh, I get it now. How kind of you to try and shield this naive little girl from.
Please be quiet. Joyce's expression has hardly changed, but Silence can feel her anger from the way she is pausing between words.
Humph. Suit yourself.
What was he trying to say? What data? Noise. Noise? Harmful noise. I still don't understand. You will with time. Alright. Now playing Blood and Dividends, Episode 7. Back to the show.
That's all for this week's agenda. Before you go, a word with you, Silence.
Of course, Dr. Parvis. She screwed up, didn't she?
Silence, we need to talk about your work arrangement. I told you to prepare to hand over the care of Joyce Moore. How are things going on that front?
I rectified her medical record and included a list of terms in the appendices.
List of terms?
As I previously reported, Joyce's linguistic capabilities are functioning perfectly well. Her condition doesn't manifest in such skin-deep ways. Like hell. Her unique speech pattern is a defense mechanism for mitigating the impact of neuropathy in the experiment. There is ample radiological and pathological evidence to support this assertion. I have compiled a list of terms used by Joyce and their natural language equivalents in order to make things easier for my successor.
Good work.
You hope I have something to drink nearby? Actually, I don't. I was lazy and forgot to grab a water. I'll grab it eventually if I need it. However, I would prefer not to hand Joyce over to someone else.
Oh?
From a treatment perspective myself, alone, I have no objection to the change. However, it takes time to change assignments and energy to establish effective communication with Joyce. I am concerned that my successor may neglect Joyce's emotional needs, such as...
Such as?
Never mind. Shrugs.
I've heard Moore's thoughts on the matter. She communicated more or less the same in her own way, requesting that you continue to be responsible for her treatment.
Birds of a feather.
Objectively, Moore's recovery has progressed rapidly since you took over her treatment. A colleague will soon return to our service, thanks to you, Silence.
I appreciate the kind words.
However, we still have a small problem.
What do you mean?
Team 7 has been short-handed lately, and I would very much like to reassign you there. If you're not willing to give up more, you'll have to balance both jobs at the same time.
Her? Team 7? 2 jobs at the same time?
What was that, Karen?
No, nothing. That's right, Karen. Stop being a Karen.
But then, I gave it some thought. Now that Moore's condition has stabilized, you should be able to devote most of your efforts to Team 7. I've already talked to the team lead, and we're just waiting to hear your thoughts. You have a heavy workload, balancing both Moore's treatment and the research of Team 7. Are you up to it?
Yes. It would be an honor to work on Team 7.
We'll be counting on you on both sides then.
Thank you.
Dismissed. Wow, Olivia, that's amazing!
Don't pat her so hard, Chris.
Heh, my bad. Olivia, let's hit the bar tonight, Olivia. Your drinks are on me.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. No, Chris, Susanna.
No need to thank us. We want to hang out with you too. We can talk about anything.
Like blood and dividends?
Of course!
I'm not so used to crowded places. Is that okay? Of course. This is Trimount after all. Who cares if you're a bit quiet in the bars, as long as you shine brightly in the labs? As for this guy here, I'll throttle him if he asks any awkward questions. I just can't get used to bars, plus, I'm not much of a drinker. Uropathy patients are advised to refrain from consuming alcohol. I thought I asked for something non-alcoholic, but then I realized I had an alcoholic drink, and a pretty stiff one at that. But I couldn't really refuse under the circumstances, so I took a few sips. The next time we go out together, I'm insisting that we go see the fountain in Trimount's Common. Do you like the fountain in Trimount's Common? Yes, it reminds me of a little park back home. There was an identical fountain there, just a little smaller. The fountain of Trimount's Common is known for its exotic design. It is possible that both fountains are built by Trimount's Munson Inc. Ha! I thought it was a fun coincidence, but I guess it's just Munson Inc. expanding its business into rural areas. Dr. Silence appears to be experiencing nostalgia. The first few days were tough, but I feel much better now that I have you to talk to. Please continue to describe your hometown. Let me think. It's hard to know what to say when you ask like that. I understand what you mean, but it's hard to find the words to describe it. Suggestion: departing now for Trimount's Common will be of assistance in describing your hometown. Do you mean you want to come with me to Trimount's Common? Affirmative. So if I say yes, this will be the first time you've left Ryan Lab HQ since the accident. As far as I can tell, you're fully recovered, but Dr. Parvis recommended another week of rest for you, just in case. There is no need to worry. Reason: Dr. Silence is a friend. The risk to health is extremely low, negligible when compared to a friend. Thank you, Joyce. But let's wait until next week. Till Ted. Me being your friend is all the more reason not to ask you to take risks. Let's go to Trimount's Common once you're fully recovered. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Oh, they're so cute together! That was an adorable record. Yeah, that was wholesome. And now for potential sadness, but it's okay. Hello, Ifrit. Boop. Team Captain. She thinks the person she's looking for has gotten thin, but according to them, she's just gotten tall. Stare. Silence. Hey, Ifrit. Welcome back. You're back early today. No new missions from the doctor, I presume? Medical says I need some follow-up exams soon, and I'm not allowed to go running around outside. The doctor told me to rest up too. Silence, why are you packing? Are you going for a trip? Yes, it's urgent, and I might be gone a while. Where are you going? Are you going alone? Bring me with you. I'm going alone, but don't worry. I'll have excellent help there. I can't bring you with me this time, Ifrit. Why? Silence, are you going back there? I know Sari has been looking into those lab coats. I know you've been too. And Mumu, she came here looking for Saria, and I know that's got to do with them, too. You guys may not tell me anything, but I can tell. Tell me, Silence. I'm not a kid anymore. Ifrit. Right, you're not a kid anymore. Okay, come here. You've lost weight, Silence. No, silly. You've grown up. The librarian's hands, soft and agile yet covered in thin calluses from years of handling lab equipment, slide down from her hair and caressed her now pointy chin. For as far back as Ifrit can remember, Silence has very rarely been so intimate. Silence would usually only lightly touch her skin, as though she was frighteningly fragile. There were a couple of times when she got so sick that she couldn't tell any faces apart, but she could clearly feel a pair of hands like these touching her. The hands seemed to be trembling, but they immediately offered Ifrit the support she needed and made her feel at ease. Now, these hands first lightly brush her face before firmly holding her shoulders. She tries her best to stand up straight, hoping to make herself seem a little more dependable. The librarian breathes a sigh and says, "You're all grown up now. We shouldn't be keeping things from you anymore. Sari and I are going on a trip back to Colombia. What we're doing there has not only to do with everything you went through all those years ago, but so much more. Ifrit, I want you to..." Ifrit? Did you fall asleep? You can wake up now. We're done with the tests. What's wrong? Not feeling so good? Dr. Silence isn't here, so we're just doing some basic checkups. So far, nothing's really jumping out at me. But if you don't feel well anymore, be sure to tell us. Ifrit isn't going to tell the medic that ever since the day she lied down on the operating table, the pain in her limbs has stayed with her every waking moment, never abating for even a second. Before, when she felt the pain, she would cry, make a fuss, fall asleep again at night, fall asleep at night. But now, Ifrit has gotten used to it. She knows it will stay with her forever. This is no big deal. She can bear it. What are you making a fuss over? There's nothing to worry about. I'm just dizzy from lying down for so long. Hey, if we're done here, can I go? Hold on a minute. Let me get you a copy of the report. Hey, what's wrong? Where's the report? Hold on. What's with that face? Stop crying. I'm not crying. You cry, baby. Ifrit, it's true that only Dr. Silence has access to the detailed reports, and I've only been assisting her, but I can tell. Over the last few years, the number of originium crystals on the surface of your skin has clearly grown. If this keeps up, your condition will deteriorate even faster. You always say everything's fine, but how is this fine? Ifrit, I have to recommend you rest. Enough. Shut up. Just shut up. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not gonna lock myself up in a room, spending my days getting blood drawn and taking medicine. Not a chance. How's it living? But nothing. No buts. Silence doesn't tell me much, but I'm not stupid. I know my own body better than anyone. Ifrit. And because I know my condition, I can't just sit here and do nothing. I need to become even more badass than Saria. That way, no matter what happens, I'll actually be able to help. I can't waste time anymore. Alright, I get it. I'm not gonna talk you out of it. I trust you to make your own decisions. However... Huh? What now? You can bet I'll be on your back about important things like this. You can't be so reckless anymore. Like when you burned that bounty hunter camp last time. Pressing on with the mission as injured as you were. If we have to carry you back here again... You're in a hospital bed for a whole month. I didn't have a choice. It's not like I wanted to do that. Besides, I'm the captain this time. It's my first time playing the leader. So what? That's all the more reason to look after yourself. Take some painkillers. You're going on a field op, so bring a couple extra bottles. And remember to come in for a checkup as soon as you're back. Ugh, I got it. You're so annoying. Anyway, just, thanks for everything. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. And Logan Williams, that sussy researcher dude. Ifrit, I want you to... Silence did not finish her sentence before she left. Ifrit can only guess at her intent. What did Silence want to tell her? What exactly did she want for her? Did she want her to help with something? Did she have a mission for her? Or did she just want her to be a good girl so that she wouldn't have to worry during her trip? Ifrit keeps wondering over and over, and part of her thinks that, just maybe, Silence was only hoping that she would be safe. Silence's attitude toward her is completely different from Saria's. Saria might expect her to grow up to be a woman who can stand on her own, while Silence has only ever wanted her to live a peaceful life. Silence said that she's gotten taller, grown up. Ifrit knows that even if she feels powerful and indomitable, she actually hasn't grown up to the point that Silence would change her mind and think of her as dependable. Not yet. Far from it. She still has a long path to walk, even if there isn't much time left. Wow, I never imagined there would be such a huge cave. That's tremendous. Aya, it's almost exactly where you predicted. Oh, there's a really pretty rock over there. From what I remember in Ifrit, I'm happy how she is now. She wants to be dependable. And she wants to be badass like Saria. It's a good job, baby Ifrit. Like, her and Saria were cute together. Her and Silence were cute together. She's their baby, basically. Look at precious baby, all grown up. It's breezy. This would be a nice place for a nap. It's so cool to the touch when you lean here. Phew. This is strange. The position and scale of this cave system are both a little off compared to the estimates. It's within the normal margin of error, but it bothers me a little anyway. The humidity here is rather high, and the soil, it doesn't feel firm. We need to test the soil inside too. Ah! Watch out! Thank you, Ifrit. You better find your footing before you talk. Did you scrape yourself? Are your hands okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. I'll decide whether you're fine or not. I'm the captain. Let me see your hands. I'm really okay. Looks alright. Hey, you, sand girl. You're here as a bodyguard too, stop slacking. Oh, it's fine. She's not going to get hurt even if she trips. I'm keeping an eye out. Just like this, I'll catch Aya. Do you want to join me, Ifrit? It's breezy here. Feels nice. I'll pass. You keep leaning. So our mission this time is to investigate the geological features of the caves here and the surrounding area, right? Let's hurry up and... Whoa! Everybody, come take a look. What happened? There's a lot of pretty ores here. Ifrit, this one's an especially great fit for you. Look. Stop screwing around. Get to work. I want to see the pretty ores. Look at me. I don't know much about geology, but I'm the captain now. You guys gotta listen to me. Your safety is my responsibility too. So please, can we get on with the work? That goes double for you, Black Ears. Stop running all over the place without your captain's permission. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready to take your orders, Captain. Right, Ifrit. This is for you. What is it? It's an ore I found over there. Look at this red color. Doesn't it look really nice on you? Hehe, it's yours. It's just a rock. You don't like it? But it looks so good on you. Alright. I never said I wasn't taking it. Don't give me that face. No, give me it. Ifrit's blushing again. Oh. So she's basically a chimera then. If she's a Savra Sarkis hybrid. Like that. I'm not. Gah. I'm not even going to waste my breath on you. Aya, how's it looking there? I've been gathering samples on our way here. So far, I haven't found anything. But just as I thought, this place has some discrepancies with the predictions I calculated. I think we need to go deeper. I want to see the situation inside. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. It feels like it's got colder. Do we have to keep going? Just how deep does this cave get? According to my calculations, we should only be about halfway in. I'm back. I gathered some soil samples from deeper inside. Here. Is that all you need? Yes, this'll do it. Thank you. With these samples, I can make a detailed analysis. And what will that analysis tell us? Quite a lot. Our primary objective is to observe the strata here to see if they're stable and to make some catastrophe-related evaluations. Speaking of which, there's only one thing that bothers me. I saw a lot of cracked ore scattered all over the ground our way. They ought to have fallen here through the fissure in the mountains on this side. It's strange, normally. There shouldn't be so many fissures. You're right, that does sound strange. I want to take a look at the fissure you mentioned. Yawns. Ifrit, that was your 11th yawn. Aya and Mint should be a little while longer. You can come over here and lean against me if you're so tired. I told you I don't wanna! The doctor even told me to take care of you. Humph. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That jackass must think I'm weak. In that case, why are you so tense? Who's tense? This is called being responsible, get it? We're both bodyguards. You better shape up. Don't drag me down. Huh? Did you just hear something just now? Yeah. I've been feeling uneasy for a moment. It's getting close. Here it comes. The fissures are too big. They can't be natural. And these data results. I got it. It's an orogenium slug swarm. The ore layer here is looser than elsewhere, because this is a large orogenium slug breeding ground. That also explains the lower temperatures and higher humidity. And based on these results, the rock formation here might be unstable. You're absolutely right about that, but, the slugs are here. That's a big swarm. Aya, that's amazing. Not the time or place. Your analysis is right, but stop analyzing. There's too many. We gotta run. I wish we could just run away from the slugs instead of fighting them. Then again, I do want one as a pet too. Shit. Why are the bugs still chasing us? I'll burn you all. Huh. How do you like that? They're just a bunch of bugs. It's been a while. But let me fire up the barbecue. Gah. There's no end to them. This sucks. Remember, you asked for it. Out of my way. Ifrit burned a large group to a crisp, but there's still a lot more. They're chasing us again. This behavior is common to this type of slug. They chase intruders. Hey, little goat, pick up the pace. Are you hanging in there alright? If you can't take it anymore, say so. I'll carry you back. Little goat? You mean me? Who else? I'm doing okay. My sand can't hold them off for too long. This is bad. Damn it, I can't take it anymore. Let's see just how many of these slugs there are. I'll burn them all. Wait, Ifrit. Stop using your arts. The rock formation here isn't stable and your flames are too intense. So what? If you don't keep your flames under control, this cave could come crumbling down. You guys go on ahead. I'll stay here to deal with these slugs. No. You can't. No. This is my mission. You follow my orders. But... what? You don't really think I'm trying to be a hero like in the movies. Humph. Ever since Silence watched a few, she's been arguing with me every day about how stupid the heroes are. I'm not stupid. If we can't burn the rock formation, then I'll just have to keep my flames under control, right? Makes sense? But are you sure you can do that? I can. I know I can. Trust me, I already told you. Your safety is my responsibility. Okay, I trust you. And away they go. You got this, Ifrit. They're gone. Ha, finally. I can burn everything down. You can't hold it in anymore, little thing. Humph, you want me to go berserk in your dreams. You know I've learned to control my flames. Now lend me your strength, you fat freak. Is this how you ask someone for a favor? Cut the crap. I'm being plenty polite, just like giving you a heads up. Can you bring me anything besides pain? I stopped being afraid of you a long time ago. What I want is to burn, and how I burn it is all up to me. Huh, little thing. You've gotten cockier. You know they haven't gone far, don't you? So what? I can protect them. I won't hurt my teammates, my friends. Ifrit. I'm sorry. No! Ifrit was once unable to control the flames burning in her heart. She once swore that she would control them one day, in order to keep those she loves from harm. When Sari apologized, she opened her eyes with difficulty. A shining blade, bright as snow, was mere inches from her, but it was a sadness teeming in Saria's eyes that she found far sharper. Ifrit did not want to see such a sight ever again. She decided that she would do what it takes to ensure Sari and Silence never look that way again. She is no longer powerless as she was. Now she can do it. Just you watch, Fatso! Oh. So those Diablo Starcasts can leave their consciousness inside shards? Well, that's one way to stay immortal. These flames don't obey you anymore. They answer only to me. They belong to me. One of these days, I will do you in completely, just you wait. That's so annoying, though. It reminds me of the haunting voice. That one haunting voice for... like... was it Ebonholes was the one with that? How did it go? Is it over? Why do I even need a checkup? I'm not hurt at all. You filled an entire key with fire, and you even worked with the other operators, using arts together. You almost caused a cave-in. When did the four of you become so reckless? Grr! How do you even know about that? I better not find out who spilled the beans. I'm not even a big deal. I mean, it's not even a big deal. Why tell? Oh, don't say that. From the sound of it, things got pretty intense. If Silence found out about this, how much more homework do you think she'd make you do? You bet you're behind. I'll tell Dr. Silence when she's back. Ugh. Do you even know how dangerous that was? If... Can't you see that I'm fine? Stop harping on about that. I was extra careful this time. You said you were gonna give me a checkup when I got back, and I came. What more do you want? So don't tell Silence, okay? You can't. Oh, so now you're scared. I'm not scared. I'm just... well, I just don't want to worry Silence. We don't know when she's coming back either. I really hope Saria is with her too. Them. They'll come back once things are taken care of over there. Then... Before you ask, I don't know what they're up to. I don't know anything. I can't be bothered with all that. You keep yourself clean by not asking questions. I don't even have enough time to upgrade my Meebos. There's no way I'm gonna worry about anything else. You better behave yourself. I'm sure the doctor's already gone over it. But you're grounded for a while, huh? Yeah. We'll be in Colombia in a couple of days. You better not do anything reckless when we get there. Sheesh, I get it. Silence, tell me what she's doing. I'm not gonna give Silence or Saria any trouble. Yep, looks like you really have grown up. Heh, just you wait. One day, I will be super dependable. When that time comes, Silence will be so worried about me, and when she runs into trouble, she's bound to come to me for help. Ifrit, help us! I can't wait to hear that. I think Ifrit did great as her first leader job. She was very dependable. Like, look, she did not cause a cave-in. She almost caused one, but she did not cause one. See how good she's being? And yo, I showed my bro the trailer for this. He liked Silence. He thought Silence was the best in the trailer. I was like, I want Ho'oheok, and he's like, ew. You have a type, don't you? You like those crazy bitches. I'm like, excuse you? But at the same time, I'm like, you know, maybe I can't say anything against that. But I was still like, excuse you? Like half true, half not. It's like, don't gotta word it like that, sheesh. Dark clouds. Rain is coming to Trimounts. Boop. Stare. If in a century or millennium, our descendants walk among the stars, the masses will sing her praises. Wow, congratulations! Oh, Hayok's telling me no. Melantine, though, she likes me a lot. I maxed out my Melantine within 40 summons. She came home that many times. She came home multiple times in multiple pools. I was like, what the heck, Melantine? But at the same time, that's fun. She sat on a tree stump, humming as she observed the shapes of the clouds above. It was not until her mother called for her that she hopped off and ran toward the voice. The low flight that they were about to take was all too familiar to her parents. Otherwise, they would not have taken her along. Her goggles were strapped on and her seatbelt fastened. As the engines roared, the aircraft began to slide down the runway. The wind brushing her cheeks grew stronger and stronger. Scared, she closed her eyes. Then, her body felt very light. A nauseous feeling gushed through her larynx, and her heart raced to the tip of her throat. She squeezed tightly into her mother's embrace. Fortunately, the feeling didn't last very long. When the aircraft stopped jolting, she slowly relaxed. But she was still afraid to open her eyes, until her mother lightly tapped her shoulder. She finally found the courage to open her eyes and look around. From this angle, the city where she had lived her whole life felt so foreign and strange. The crowds that she had struggled to squeeze through now looked like tiny, insignificant insects. Her mother pointed up, prompting her to look. The sky was so clear and bright. From what I remember of Kristen, she's just very cold. She's a cold lady. She's just like, I just care about my research, nothing else. Outskirts of Max, District Columbia, 1099. Federal Nomadic Prison. Oh, back to prison. Man, I love that prison event. Saria was the greatest there.
Sir, you're back. Sir, you're sick. What? I'm as healthy as can be. No, I can tell. Alcoholic? crapulent, and insomniac. In this oppressive nomadic prison, surely you haven't had the chance to enjoy much of the finer things in life. Heh, you're right about that. Haha, I mean no offense. I get the sense that you need some rest and recreation. Have you been to siesta, Minos? Please stop making fun of me.
And even if she's cold, there's people who are into those kind of characters, or into that type, so I can see why a lot of directors in Ryan's lab would be Kristen stans. That's understandable. The obsession of wanting to tear the sky asunder. What I make of that? Well, she just wants to explore the great unknown. Like, you know how some people want to explore underwater? She just wants space. It's a good for her that she knows what she wants to do. That kind of stuff is not really a thing that I would want to do personally, but good for her.
No. This is an invitation. Please choose one. Think of it as a way to kill time as this boring wait drags on. Minos. Ah, Minos. The fruity aroma of its streets rides the wind past the pristine white walls. More importantly, the innate elegance of its beauties will have you reluctant to leave. Alright. I can already imagine the extravagant life you live. I'm green with envy. No, what I'm saying is, it's all prepared for you. All prepared for you. What do you mean? I believe an illness like yours can only be cured in such an environment, and you've been a great help for me across a variety of matters. Men like you deserve the finest of treatments. After a few months, any gloominess clouding your mind will have completely dissipated. You'll be as strong and sturdy as a Minoan craftsman. You may even enjoy a stimulating romantic encounter.
Finely dressed man, you sound like a con man.
Mr. Justin Fitzroy Jr. Let me say this again, I'm fine. Please stop toying with me. Please, Mr. Justin was my father. Just call me Justin Jr. Alright, Justin Jr. So even business section people at Ryan Lab know their medicine? No. I don't know the first thing about medicine. Who would be interested in something so complicated that can affect no visible, immediate change? Then what in the world are you talking? I'm sure you're dying to know what kind of illness you have and who spread it to you. Take a look around you and remember. Your superior, that unsympathetic, good-for-nothing judge, and even the old warden so unpleasant even after he retired. You should have been hailed as a hero after you retired from pioneering, or at the very least enjoyed a comfortable life with a fancy house in a nomadic city on a government stipend. But now, you looked into my background. That's suiting medicine to the illness, sir. And the way I see it, your situation is hopeless. The remedy I prescribe is a vacation, a luxurious home, bottles of fine wines, beautiful specimens of your preferred gender, and the top-notch security service.
Yeah, this sounds like a scam. He sounds like a con man. It's like, sir, that sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
I don't understand. I know what you came here for. You're gonna take that one back with you. If you made it all the way here without trouble, then Ryan Lab and the brass must already have an agreement. What's the point bribing me now? I need an answer first. Are you willing to take fate into your own hands? Heh, who isn't? Right, which is why you're very unlucky, and also lucky in a way. At the very least, you know the obstacle in front of you and your predicament. For instance, you've always played lackey to someone else. You were deliberately ignored and cast here.
I'd be like, sir, stop reading me. This isn't a library, this is a prison. Stop reading, sir.
You also know what you want. For instance, you've been planning to propose to a certain someone, which got delayed by this trip, right? Oh, I wonder how that proposal would go on the Minoan plains. Yes. Haha. What do you need me to do, Justin Jr.? It's simple. Sell the information on all the prison's special procedures to Ryan Lab. I guarantee you'll find the price I'm willing to pay more than attractive. That certainly wouldn't be hard, but you'll be held accountable. Haha. We came prepared. I mean it. The old men beside you have serious appetite. I spent twice my budget to get all this in order. They've been plenty arrogant the last couple of years, and that won't do. Those greedy, selfish idiots haven't been willing to face facts. What? Do they think they're some kind of Ursus or Lithuanian nobles? Ha ha. I prefer practical men like you, and so does Ryan Lab. So, you could make a considerable fortune out of all this. Then you and I can send these stubborn old men to prison. They won't get a chance to turn things around for the rest of their miserable lives. Doesn't that sound nice? You want me to defect? Hold on. Who the heck? Couldn't have picked a worse time. A letter from the bank. I thought I paid it all off. Ugh. Justin Jr. This money? Did I forget to mention? Haha, my bad. Since I'm not fit to be a doctor, this is your first course of the treatment.
Wait, is the stuff he's saying convincing?
No!
It's sus! He sounds like a con man! Like, sir, I don't like what you're saying. I mean, I like what you're saying, but at the same time I hate it. Because he's also reading Mr. Prison Supervisor. If someone came up to me and was like, yo, you want all this cool stuff? I'd be like, you know, I kind of do. And then they started reading me like how he was reading Mr. Prison Supervisor. I'd be like, I hate you now. How dare you call me out like that? And read me. Unless I was in a library, then I'd be like, okay, I understand.
So much. And the most effective cure for your disease is power and wealth. I guarantee it will get to the root of the problem. On behalf of Ryan Lab. I understand. Pleasure to work with you, Justin Jr. The pleasure is mine. Let me ask one more thing. Is Ryan Lab full of men like you? No. They're all freaks. The freakiest you've ever seen, but I'm cool with freaks. Like the one we're looking for today. It's all ready, sir. Good. After all that effort, I finally get to meet our famous freak. Please don't forget what we talked about. I hope you'll be at my cocktail party in Trimonts next month. As my personal guest. No invitation necessary.
And why a library specifically? Because that's where you read people. Though the read that I am... Let's see how I describe reading someone. Reading someone is basically telling them... Well, yeah, basically like looking at someone and just talking about them. It could be in a very, very sassy way, which is what this guy was doing. And ooh, hello. Hi. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. She stood in the center on the day of her parents' funeral. People came and went around her. One after another, men she didn't know offered her condolences in front of her parents' portraits. A science journal's editor-in-chief, a high-level government official, a legendary investor of the finance world, the representative of a technology conglomerate. All of them looked so saddened that the genius inventor, husband, and wife brought the world of science to new heights, only to both die young. None of them could understand. They couldn't understand why, when this era-defining technology, flight, had just taken off. Why would they waste their energy and effort on something as meaningless as reaching the highest altitude possible? All of them were furious. Furious that, with the death of the Wrights, the government-sponsored plans became a laughingstock, and their enormous investments had all gone down the drain. One by one, the guests all left. She stood alone in front of her parents' grave and lifted her head up to look at the clear sky. Yet it was so dark and gloomy. Sound of a door opening. The light is blindingly bright. Past the passageway's dark shadows, the uncharacteristically bright lights keep Justin Fitzroy Jr. from opening his eyes. The brightly glowing laboratory is right. Exactly the same one in Trimonts. Justin Jr. takes 2 steps to feel things out and finds his attention instinctively drawn to the equipment so clean and shiny that there is light reflecting off of it. How much did this cost to build? They built all this for one man's sake? Deep in an area of the laboratory untouched by light, an old man whose face is hidden guards a radio as ancient as himself.
Ha ha. This is a prison? You call this a prison? God damn. Kristen built a whole replica lab here just for you? She thinks really highly of you, doesn't she? Convict number 30. You aren't the regular liaison, but I've seen your face. You're Ryan Lab director? Well, that's just hurtful. I played no small part in expanding the company to its current size in such a short period of time. How could Kristen not have told you about me? I have no interest in people like you. I'm a sick, crippled man. What do you want from me? Don't talk like that. I read your file. You were extraordinary if it wasn't for... Sorry. I'm pretty sensitive about the past. Oh, alright. But I'm really curious. What is it that Kristen wants you to accomplish so badly that she went to all this trouble? She didn't tell you. Which means you have no need to know, boy. This isn't the first time a science freak has mocked me. Well, no biggie. My job here is to take you away. Looks like your little project has moved on to its next stage. She needs you there in person. It's about her survival plan. So you do know, you sly little punk. All I know is that Kristen has had you working on something to do with originium and the human body. It's not my area of expertise, but at the very least, I know one thing. Ryan Lab's control is not a coward who fears death, and she definitely has no illness that needs healing. Which means there's something else going on that's making her desperate for a way to extend her life. Some kind of extreme circumstances. You're a smart one. No wonder she chose you to bring me out of this place. But you'll have to wait a little longer. It's almost time for the vice president's speech. A speech? You're into politics now? No, today is going to be an interesting day. Patience is a virtue, kid. Now, we still have to introduce ourselves. I'm... Logan Williams. It's a pleasure. I'm Justin Fitzroy Jr., Business Section Director at Ryan Lab, and outside to the world of science and technology. I'm only here to bear witness to history, sir.
And now back over here.
Dear Colombians of Trimounts, this is your Vice President, Conrad Jackson. I'm sure many of us are confused by today's press conference. Before I explain anything, I'd like to have a chat with you all. Do any of you feel that, on our terror today, it's gotten hard to focus on the cities or even the country in which we reside? There is more and more to be proven. Exchanges between nations have become more frequent, and likewise conflicts and confrontations have become more intense and unavoidable. So I want to ask all of you, Colombia's only been around for a handful of decades, but our history is already as rich as any other nation's. What is it that we have used to achieve this? It's our thirst for knowledge that drives us to explore the boundaries and depths of science. It's the pioneering spirit that flows in the veins of every single Colombian. That's my answer. That's our answer. And to maintain these two things, we're always willing to pay the price, no matter how high it may be.
First impressions on Logan Williams? Sickly old man. He's be coughing a lot. He looks old as heck. And he be coughing, so when he says he's a sickly old man, legit. Personality-wise, I'm not sure since we just had like only a few sentences exchanged with him, really. So that's pretty much it.
What is Jackson talking about? The next election is right around the corner.
He hasn't really done anything the last couple of years, so he's probably anxious.
Paying a high price? He's not exactly off to a great start. In the City of Technology, Trimounts, there are over a dozen special plates. On those plates, we're working tirelessly on countless research projects. We're developing, discovering, and guaranteeing our future ways of life. Many of you here are participating in those projects, and I'm very proud of you. In just 2 weeks, we will announce an achievement that is truly the greatest among them. It will change the landscape of international relations. It will allow us to seize the initiative, to never again fear any storm across any lands. It will be Colombia's first step into a new era.
And now the outside world.
First step into a new era? I heard Jackson was already a famous orator and activist back in college, huh? And now he's holding a press conference in Trimonts. You know what that means, right? Let's cut to the chase, Colonel Blake. You need my help and I need yours. This is easy.
Oh gosh. Ferdinand. Was he that one? Was he that one dude who was married and not talking about, and he doesn't talk to his son and he's still flirting with the others inside Orion Lab? Is it that guy? If it is him, then oh gosh.
You need my help and I need yours. This is easy. Help. Yeah, sure. A super weapon crafted specifically to keep the damn shard of Londinium in check. Who knows how much money the military poured into that thing? But now, Kristen and all the techs in the project have disappeared without a trace overnight. And that, what does that handbook call that big ring again? HMHRR? Damn it. Just, how did she hide such a big thing? The military is being pretty gentle as it is, not surrounding the city with an entire fleet of high-speed battleships.
No one really attempted to explore the sky again. I mean, they do have aircraft, so technically, yes, they're still exploring, but not like outer space type of rocket thing. And just based on everything going on in the game, I can see why. It's like they don't have time to research rockets. There's too much craziness going on.
This is what I'm here for. I have to admit, Kristen really took me for a ride this time. But what reason do I have to believe that a failure like you can take care of this problem? There are a lot of companies in Colombia that can rival Ryan Lab. There's nothing stopping us from taking a military approach and handing everything over to some other place. You're right, Colonel Blake, I failed. But I'm no fool. If the military were really that hardy, you would have done this a long time ago. You army guys were never the meek humanitarians you're trying to play. And I, the former director of energy, I know Ryan Lab with my help. Whatever you end up doing will go so much smoother.
Ah, yep. Ferdinand is that dude. That one guy who never talks to his son or ignores his son. And tries to flirt with his employees instead. Unless I'm wrong, then my bad. Sorry, Ferdinand, for dragging you like that, my dude. But I'm pretty sure you're that one guy from that other event. The Dorothy event.
Especially if you want to take care of this as quickly and as quietly as possible. But why should I trust you again? Is there anyone easier to keep in check than a failure with nothing to his name? I never thought there would come a day when you called yourself a failure, Ferdinand. Why are you so fixated on this? Always high and mighty, never revealing her secrets, she threw everyone's hard work and achievements under the bus, sacrificing the whole of Ryan Lab. Kristen doesn't have the right. No one does. Alright, that's the most convincing thing you've said today.
Hallway outside of Control's office, Ryan Lab Trimonts. I don't actually like this feeling a whole lot. Too quiet. The air's so chilly and dry, and the light's awfully cold. No idea what's up ahead either. Things weren't always so lively back in the day. Most of the time, everyone was just busy with research. We rarely ever saw each other, but after meetings, we'd party and get drinks, and the table legs with the project reports. Pad the table legs with the project reports we just finished. I miss that feeling. The feeling of being accepted, the feeling that we were making a difference, that our work had purpose. You have to feel nostalgic for that too, don't you, Kristen? You can stop dragging your gross tail across the floor. Nobody's coming to clean today. Ho'oheok. Oh, so you came here to cry your eyes out, huh? Guess I should have stayed hidden a little longer. Were you waiting for me? Mm-hmm. Then why are you standing all the way over there? I've got to be careful. A kid who just lost her parents might have a pretty bad temper. Besides, I thought you had already had a watered clone ready the moment I stepped into the room. Ooh, fight! Since I'm found out, I might as well drown you right away and stuff you into dead power armor. Oh, I didn't know you were such a vengeful elf. A Maylander agent infiltrating this place, huh? What are you up to? Infiltrating? Think again. Would Control's office be that easy to infiltrate? Are you working for Control? What kind of deal do you two have, and what she's got you doing for her? Are you betraying the Maylander Foundation for this? Kukan? Okay, the main story is at 1998 in Lindinium, while this is 1999. Well, then again, they did mention the shard. And that is that big weapon in the sky. I wonder if that fight's still going on. Or if it's over at this point. So many questions. Why don't you ask Kristen yourself? You're so close to her. I'm sure she'd tell you. Right. You're at the end of your rope. Why else would you expect to find Control in her office? Kristen really asked you to come? If I told you I invited myself here, would that make your heart ache more? She doesn't have the time to deal with you right now. Perhaps she's already sick of all your backstabbing and all your distractions. Maybe she never had a place for you in her plans. Whatever you want to think. That's not your place to say. I'm just trying to remind you that out of the kindness of my heart, or pity, if that's how you want to see it, that you try not to be so tense. Don't you think you know her better than I do? Kukan? I've known her a lot longer than you have. Maybe I don't understand her, but I know what it is she's trying to do. It's hard to blame someone for grasping at straws when they're desperate, but if you get in the way, next time, I'll really kill you. The dreadful library has vanished. Aside from the droplets of water on the sofa, the fight earlier might as well have never happened. The door closes. Mulsis doesn't try to give chase. There's no telling how much truth there was to Ho'oheok's words, but her presence alone has already explained a lot. Ooh. So they control the elements. So Ho'oheok is the Avatar. She should ask Kristen directly. This is why she came here today, and she still has many other questions. Kristen. There is no one here to answer her. Mulsis' voice echoes throughout the empty office. Her shadow is split into two halves by the wall, like two people standing at a branching path. When and where did all this begin? Everything that once was changed. Everything that once was has changed. Yet she knew nothing about it. This familiar room, This familiar hallway both seems so foreign to her now. She hates this feeling. It's just like the time after she was born, when she realized for the first time that she was all alone in the world. On the day of Ryan Lab's foundation, everyone had faith that it was the starting point of a company destined for greatness. The idea made everyone nervous. It cheered them all up. It put smiles on their faces. It kept them up at night. She and Saria chatted about the future on the balcony until the next day's beaming sunrise shone directly into their eyes. At that moment, she thought that she, Saria, and all these people would walk with Ryan Lab forever. It was an unrealistic notion. When topics like profit, conflict, and misunderstanding piled onto her desk one after another, she couldn't help but laugh. What exactly is confining mankind? She lifted her head to look at the sky. It was so ugly. Back in the wilderness? Rest stop, Tri-Mountain's outskirts, roughly 18 miles from the city center.
Hi there. 4 large cheese dogs, extra cheese. You got it, coming right. Holy shit, bro, what the heck is this? I caught some kind of disease when I was a kid. It's only because of the exoskeleton that I'm still alive. Sorry for spooking you. Spooking me? Hell no, that's so cool. And it looks so cool. Oh, it's gotta do with Tri-Mountain's tech companies. No wonder. The gizmos they pump out are evolving so fast. Something like that. My bad. That was probably rude of me, acting so surprised. I'm used to it. Mind if I smoke here? You can still smoke? That's amazing. Phew, so empty here. This road doesn't get much traffic, does it?
Oh, okay, that's a Tin Man from the comic.
Just today, when the vice president came through not long ago, the traffic jam was miles long. Maybe it's the weather. Here, your hot dog. That's some appetite you got, bro. Take a seat wherever you want, not like there's anyone else today. Thanks.
I want to try a cheese dog with extra cheese.
Hot dog, huh? Colombian fast food is really making strides. Well, it's all the same to me. So why are they called hot dogs again? Anything to do with the Peros?
And of course, Dr. Kelsey's here.
It was the first wave of Bolivarian settlers who introduced this particular food item to the Colombian masses. This type of sausage sandwich was frequently sold in night competition arenas at food carts attended by scantily clad Pero females or well-built Pero males.
Sandwich. I don't know if I consider hot dog a sandwich. 'Cause, yeah, I don't think I consider it a sandwich unless the bun is broken in two. Then that could be a sandwich, but if it's fused together, it's more like a taco. Is it really classified as a sandwich?
And with the passage of time, this food item came to be known as a hot dog in Colombian parlance. Passage of time, huh? Funny how things can turn out just because of time. Want one, miss? My treat.
No, thank you.
Huh. The years really haven't been kind. When I still had a sense of taste, my appetite was probably a dozen times as it is now. I guess that's how things turn out with the passage of time. I envy a young lady like you. I wonder, how many things in Terra are built atop the passage of time?
Everything is.
I guess you're right about that. It's been a while, Dame Kelsey. When was the last time we met?
The day of Teresa's ascension ceremony after the war was over. Most Zarkas who still had a lingering nostalgia for Kazuo were there. You were no exception. Oh! Okay, I guess the war does end before 1999 then, if they didn't see each other since The day of Teresa's ascension ceremony after the war was over. Interesting. What should I call you now?
Tin Man. That's what my coworkers taught me. It's an apt descriptor, and not like names have much meaning to me anymore.
You represent the Maylander Foundation.
I do.
A powerful revenant.
A once powerful revenant. And besides, you know how the T-Cats are closely connected to every corner of the world, and the Colombian plains are no exception. Or would it make you feel better if I told you that the whispers of hatred still keep me up at night, and that I can't wait to turn into a flying fortress and fly straight back to Casdell?
No. So the Maylander Foundation noticed Rhodes Island long ago.
This isn't the first time you showed up on Colombia's radar. Even if the last time was just a minor legal dispute. Was that Toronto or someplace else? Rhodes Island is still a young organization.
You know who it belonged to, and what course it is taking.
Huh. I'm not trying to talk you into giving up, but based on our agent's intel, too many old friends are mixed up in this mess. A fair amount of them are your old friends too. I have no issues with Rhodes Island getting involved in this, so as long as you hear Maylander's thoughts first.
Is it thoughts you want Rhodes Island to hear or demands?
Regardless, personally speaking, I do hope we're on the same side this time, Dame Kelsey.
Wait. The last time they saw each other was the day Amiya inherited the crown from Teresa, but... Wait, but she said war, though. Like, right here, she said... let me find it. The day of Teresa's ascension ceremony after the war was over. So what... Was there a war going on during that time, too? That's the day Amiya inherited the crown from Teresa... Even more wars? I understand.
Are those girls yours?
The Tin Man lifts his head to gaze at the bottom of the dark clouds. Not far away, a pure white feline and a fire-red Savra sit on the bench. The Savra girl enthusiastically tries to tell something to her buddy, but her buddy simply stares at the sky, seemingly paying no attention whatsoever. She is thinking about the past. She seems to know why she received that letter and why she had to come back to this country, but she actually doesn't understand it all that well. She is simply thinking that there are things you have yet to face, and that you have to face sooner or later. I should remember this place, but I don't think I wrote it down. Why didn't I write it down? Do I need to remember this place? I like Ifrit's new look here. She looks very comfy. Duh! You don't remember anything no matter what I ask you. This sucks. Do you remember? Me? Of course I remember. This is Colombia. I've been here. And I hear you've been here too. Oh. Okay. So, a super duper duper long time ago, the day Teresa first became the king of the Sarkaz.
Oh, I remember them. I see now. It's a cruel twist of fate, Kelsey. But you have children so young face their fate head on.
This is their decision. I have no right to intervene. Kelsey silently looks at Trimount shrouded in dark clouds in the distance. Its tall skyscrapers remain under thick, dark clouds, its base hidden by the fields around them. Likewise, the Tin Man lifts his head. Up in the sky above the city and the entire lands, at an unreachable altitude that mankind has dreamt of reaching for thousands of years, a burning fireball is tearing through the skies like a falling star. Ifrit, do you want to hear a story? A story. Alright. Today's story takes place in the beautiful city of Sargon. There was once a well-respected king, loved by his people, but when he finally grew old, he had an anxious look on his face, never coming down for even a second. He gave it his all to rule the city, but he found that not one thing in the city would bear his mark forever. His statues would crumble and his legends would fade. People forget too easily. In the final days of his life, he eagerly hoped for there to be something that could truly symbolize his whole legacy, and ensure that it would be told for generations to come. And so, he asked his wife. He hoped to find this treasure with her together. They searched all over the lands and found a bottomless pit of gold, clothing that restored youth, a magic mirror that allowed its user to change races at will, a sword that could rend mountains, and a treasure map that led to mythical realms. Yo, I want that treasure map. None of these were what the king wanted. They were all too specific, and the desires they bore were too strong. The old king did not think any of these could represent his legacy. This left the queen stricken with grief. She prayed to the night skies that her husband would get his wish. Finally, hearing her faithful prayers, a star arrived in the mortal realm. Ifrit stares blankly at the blazing red tail sweeping through the sky. She suddenly recalls a story out of the thousands that silence has told her. Legend has it, there is always hope wherever the star so happens to land. The differences that divide mankind are mended the moment the star reaches the ground, and everyone's wishes will be fulfilled all at once. Will a star come falling down? There's no time to think. Time is flying by. I wish for... Originate. Originate Prime. Yay! I got my wish. Woohoo! Just kidding. I wish for whole health right now. Let me summon you, ma'am. Dense fog. No fear. Boop. And I'm not bringing a friend so I can farm later. Foo foo foo. Dr. Kelsey's just built different. She's like, I smell drama. And that's why she's here. Right on time. The librarian steps out onto the rooftop of a tall tower and looks up at the sky. From this high vantage point, the faint, small screech is concealed by the sound of the wind, while the faint spot of light rapidly expands in her eyes. Her thick tail dexterously and rhythmically sweeps back and forth, a graceful measure to which the librarian can compare the invisible grid of the city beneath her. Now let's see. Just where will the star land and try mounts? Districts 2 and 5 are primarily residential. 11's a new industrial campus is under construction. Let's hope it won't be central. The place is packed with office buildings like dime a dozen canned fins you get at the supermarket. And it's a workday. Those offices are going to be full of people. Himph. Well, he really figured out where to land this experiment of yours. Or maybe just never cared how much of a racket this might cause. Either way, you planned this far ahead. Things are getting more and more interesting, Kristen. Kristen? Confirmed. The Triton factory in District 13. The librarian leaps from the tall tower. Oh? Ha! Oof! Who pulled the curtains open? It's too bright. Look at the time. The Rhiners have been at work for an hour already. Tri-Mounts Hotel really care about guest privacy, huh? Is this how a Ryan Lab director welcomes a guest? I'm tired, Mule says. This is my vacation. Or am I working here right now? I wanted to see you, that's why I'm here. You saved me from the power armor, and I brought you breakfast. Fair's fair, right? That's the breakfast combo from the cafe at Ryan Lab HQ. They only sell 100 of those a day. ... Okay. Don't give me that look. You're a grumpy Gus this morning, huh? It's Sari you want to see, right? Well, I haven't been able to contact her, but if she isn't here, then coming to you won't help. Anyway, take a look at this. What am I looking at? This just in, Trimontians. An explosion occurred this morning at the Triton Chemical Plant number 3 in District 13. The specific cause of the explosion is still unknown, but the authorities' preliminary conclusion is that laboratory staff made a fatal error, leading to the construction machinery on site exploding. A large stockpile of catalysts and reagents are stored in Triton Chemical Plant number 3, and to keep the chemicals from leaking out and causing more catastrophic damage, the military and government authorities are currently cleaning up the site. As of right now, all of District 13 is under temporary lockdown. Entry and exit from the district is being heavily restricted. Citizens are asked to cooperate with the ongoing work there. The government has not responded to requests for comment, and it is not known at this time whether the lockdown in District 13 will affect Vice President Jackson's time and tri-mounts. Is this another Site 359? Does this have to do with Ryan Lab 2? I don't know the specifics, but if you, or I should say Rhodes Island, are here, considering how much Sarah trusts you, there's no way you would ignore big news like this. Okay, Doctor. You've got some new visitors. I'll see you very soon. Bye, Moo. So that was a clone after all. New visitors? Rise and shine, Dr. Misaki Nobunaga, you big dumbass! Rise and shine! Ifrit, what brought you here? It's so early. I'm sleepy. Long time no see, Dr. Misaki. Telopsis has already returned to the landship with Elena for a checkup and treatment. Mechanist is currently on a new mission. From here on, I will be accompanying you. And me, and also Rosmontis. Kelsey, explain. Rosmontis. The floaty feline girl apparently entered the room at some point. She stands next to the window and listens quietly to your conversation. She gazes at you in your room. Behind her, there are pure white clouds floating gently across the clearest Trimontian sky. And not just Kelsey being here, we gotta babysit the kids. Aw man, I was probably on a vacation, and then all of a sudden Kelsey comes in with kids like, "It's your time to watch the kids now, Dr. Misaki." It's like, aw man, I was trying to have a nice rest, and then now I'm on babysitting duty. Don't be mad, Doctor. I asked Dr. Kelsey to bring me along. I was invited by someone. I will explain more about what's going on later. Seeing as you have the TV on, it seems you already know about District 13. The explosion wasn't caused by some careless lab technician. Something fell down from the sky. We need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, Sari has already gone to investigate. As for you, I need to get out of bed and wash up. Okay, fine, I'll get ready for the day.
I live here! Who the hell are you to try to stop me from going home? What gives you the right to lock this place down anyway? Is this even legal? Do you have anything in writing? I'm supposed to take your word that this is an emergency?
I'll be out in 10 minutes. I just need to head back for some documents. Our clients are waiting in the conference room.
Sorry, but I need to see your clearance.
Interesting. I was going to watch Saria to see what she's up to. I never expected to find this little bird making her way here. Right. That's a little researcher from the Diabolic Crisis. Scouting the area with a drone from a dead angle while hiding in the crowd, waiting for an opportunity. Not bad. But the army has soldiers watching every single alley. It won't be so easy for you to break through their checkpoints. That said, I haven't the slightest idea what you can do, but you might just have to be able to give these baddies a little trouble. So I'll give you a hand. Something from the sky. I feel like it's either a meteor or it's an alien. And that's why they're on lockdown, because it's an alien.
What are you blabbing about?
Nothing. The package is recovered. It'll be delivered right away.
As you've no doubt heard in the news, it's just one factory that had an accident. Why is the entire district on lockdown? If you guys are actually worried about the chemicals, why aren't you wearing protective equipment? Why are you people still allowed to come and go? No one is buying no one is buying your beast shit.
Is this about the whole industrial campus upgrade project? If it falls through, who's gonna pay?
Hurry up and let me buy. No pushing. My arm. Why can't I move? Somebody broke through the cordon. Look how the comms aren't working either.
Go, Silence, go.
Your clearance, Miss Saria?
You know me?
Former defense director at Rhine Lab. Reputation precedes you here in Trimounts.
So I can't enter District 13?
Not just you. If you don't have clearance, please leave. You! Relax. Store your weapon. Your face, your hands, It's the same all over. I may look scary, but it's just an exoskeleton. I work for the Maylander Historical Association, currently part of the Vice President's entourage as a secretary. Here's my authorization. Misaki here is a subject matter expert we invited along. Maylander, huh? You people are always so strange. Go talk to your superiors. We want to get a better grasp of the situation. Give me a minute. Looking at your tire, it seems you didn't plan on bringing your shield along.
No. I just determined that I might need to apply full force to whatever is coming next. Oh, the last section of the event is the extra long? Well, that won't be for a while.
Full force, huh? That phrase carries a weight far heavier than usual coming from the former director of the Rhine Lab Defense Section. Seems like I did make it in time.
Our last meeting must have been at Hayden Pharmaceuticals, Detective.
We talked so much that I forgot to slide you and Musa's a free pint of draft beer on your last visit.
I noticed how powerful the Maylander Foundation is, but I was still surprised when I heard the news from Kelsey. How do the two of you know each other?
We're just old friends.
So what role is the Maylander Foundation playing in our current situation?
Saria, are you interested in politics?
Decidedly not.
So do I really need to answer that question? The Colonel was en route to this meeting with the Vice President. Your identities have been verified, and the Colonel has authorized your entry to District 13. But we're conducting an emergency investigation to evaluate the hazard posed by the chemical leaks, so you won't be allowed near the Triton Chemical Plant number 3. That's where this all went down. We'll also arrange an escort party to go with you to provide any necessary help.
That's her offense suit. Well, she looks good. Looks easier to move in.
No problem. We will go with your arrangements.
Though the outfit does not strike fear because it looks, well, pretty. It looks like, kind of like street clothing. Phew, made it in. Next, I keep 2 drones up in the air, 100 meters apart to survey the situation. The Triton factory should be right up ahead. I hope the stealth combat tactics I learned at Rhodes Island will come in handy here. Let's take it slow. Will I really find any leads on the transmitter here? A batch of transmitter has gone missing? That's right. To be more precise, it was a batch of experimental materials with said transmitter included that was supposed to be shipped together to HQ for disposal. So someone stole it. And it's very likely to be someone within Rhine Lab. Silence. I'd like you to head to Tri-Mounts and help me investigate this. Me? I need to remain at Site 359 to cooperate with the military investigation, so I'll be stuck here for the time being. Are you going to negotiate with them? Don't worry. As much as I don't enjoy this stuff, I'm still capable of it. I'm a Rhine Lab director after all. I'm more worried about this batch of missing transmitter becoming the catalyst of someone else's ambitions. So, can you do it? Well, silence. You're a student of Director Parvis, and yet you showed up here at Site 359. I had some doubts, but now I get it. You came here to ask for my help. Or maybe, you wanted to know if the director of Originium Art is trustworthy. I'm sorry. No need for apologies. I did come close to doing something awful. I should be thanking you, Silence. But at the same time, this is why I'm asking you for help. You are beholden only to your own standards and looking for your own answers. But even if I hadn't asked you, you still would have returned to Tri-Mounts, right? Yes. Dot dot dot. Oh no. Why are there suddenly a lot more men on patrol?
Shit. Find anything over there? I searched a couple alleyways over on the side, nothing. The colonel's about to meet the vice presidents, so we had to play nice and let those 2 in. We were supposed to stick close to them. How did they lose us so quickly? They were walking so leisurely the whole time that they vanished behind a fence when I blinked. We really underestimated that fella covered in iron. Mainlanders people are always so tricky. I'll go report the situation to the brass, take the boys with you, and continue the search. Right. Send more hands over to the factory too. Your reflexes and stealth skills are admirable, Mr. Detective. You flatter me. Even if we could manage them, it's better to shake them off our tail than to outright knock these sycophants out. We're here. Triton Chemical Plant number 3 is right up front.
Well, it's not really a coincidence she's here. She was sent here on a mission by Dorothy. Dorothy's like, yo, can you help me find my missing stuff? It's like, sure, Dorothy, sure. You think it might be in this area? Okay, I'm gonna go there. So not really a coincidence.
They've already cordoned off the perimeter and deployed heavily armed soldiers at every possible location. Quite the impossible task to get any closer. We're close enough for a clear view.
Saria's gaze travels over to the throng of people and past the striking yellow barriers, landing on the factory behind. The once smooth factory building has been demolished beyond recognition, with scorch marks scrawled by heaps of debris scattered all over. A series of explosions have eroded the facade. leaving only the interior foundations that give her a clear view. In the center of the factory lies a huge ring-like mechanical structure, diagonally embedded into the ground like an outrageous art installation. The source of the explosion.
What have you found? Neither the shape nor the mechanical structure of the object hints at its purpose, but it is clearly a device not meant to be used on land. It fell from the sky. We're too far away to discern any concrete details, but what can be confirmed at the very least is this thing has the mark of Rhine technology. To be precise, it has Kristen's handwriting all over it. I'm sure of that. Horizon Arc Project. What? I'm surprised you've not heard the name, given your position at Rhine and your relationship with Kristen.
I'm glad I didn't get spotted. There really was one here. Oh, I guess Kristen was the one who took the technology. It's gone. Dorothy was right. Transmitters react to each other, and it wasn't too difficult to catch them with the one she gave me. But there's too few of them. Dorothy said that there were more. Could they be nearby? Wait. This is the Triton factory? A colossal ruin lies before her. Just how many injuries or casualties happen in there? Silence recalls the news not mentioning any numbers relevant to that question. She recalls the destruction at Site 359. It was difficult for her to even picture what it looked like before the ruins. Was that Saria? Who was that with her? Saria, do you have something to do with this too? Silence, no! Don't get the wrong idea! Do you know where we're going? Shakes head. We're heading to Saria's stronghold in Trimonts as part of our arrangement with her. Saria, it's been ages since I saw her. But if you need to talk to Saria, you two are gonna be busy, right? I guess she won't have time to talk to me. You and Rosmontis will stay with the doctor. I am on babysitting duty. That is why Kelsey sent me, or she came to me, to watch the kids. I see how it is, Kelsey. That's why she visited me. Legit. Super legit. Ifrit, where were you just now? Ifrit, tell me more about what you did on the way here. Do I see Kristen as an enemy? Well, she's not actively trying to harm me, so nah. If she was actively trying to fight me, then she'd be my enemy. If anything, she's just an annoyance. Because she's doing things that's just causing drama, but she's not doing it maliciously. Alright, when the star came falling down, I was telling Rosmontis a story that Silence told me before. You still remember it, right? You weren't writing any of it down. Yep, I still remember. That night, it seemed the entire city heard the Queen's prayers and the sound of her tears splotching onto the sand. In the end, the Queen passed out in the high tower of the palace. The Queen's faithfulness reached the hearts of the stars, one after another. They soared through the skies and came before the old king. The old king was swallowed by the endless surge of brightness. Within it, he saw a sight that he'd never seen nor dreamed in his entire life. The next morning, the queen awoke to find a huge hole had appeared on the palace's roof, and the old king, who had passed away hours ago, stood with a smile lingering on his now stiffened lips. Were the stars brought here by her prayers? The stars made her wish come true, and they took her lover with them. What a story.
戦いの時だ。
Time to fight.
ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。
Hey, military hound, no fear. Okay, all good.
全員の行動力を奪う。それ
Yeah,
でいい
no
だ
fear.
本気で行くよ。
This is nice not having to worry about those, like, security checks.
いい位置だ。
Yeah, because that was a pain. Okay, so you defender, dude.
命令を動き回
Ain't
る。
no fear.
そうすればおた
リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
This be fine.
今こそ皆さんをお助けすると。
Bonk.
逃がした。
And it'll be good to be able to farm this area. Go get him.
これで静かになってくれる。指定の位置に向か
Okay, good so far. Stare.
う。対 A 砲、ヤト。目標地点に到着した。
Yeah, no worries. So far, I bought skins for Kelsey, and of course, I got for Spectre.
ようやく私の出番か。
Chen is tempting, but decisions. Because I don't even know if I have regular Chen, and that unless that's for my swimsuit Chen, then maybe.
距離を合わせて。
He back in the office. I want his burb. Look at that burb. Oh. Well decorated burb.
Colonel, sorry to keep you waiting for half an hour. I'm the one who should apologize, Mr. Vice President. Your schedule in Tri-Mounts is packed, and I heard from Secretary Pavard that you had to cancel a meeting on account of my sudden visit.
Oh, that is for Summer Chen. Okay, then I gotta get that for her then.
The military's response to the District 13 incident has been quick. It has also been intense. You had just given such a powerful, rousing speech for the masses. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. By the looks of things, this is more than a little accident on your end as well. I'm just saying, it's still too soon to reveal the Horizon Arc project to the public. Which is why we'd like you to cancel the rest of your itinerary and leave Tri-Mounts, and we'll take care of these accidents as soon as we can. Colonel, I understand what you're asking, but my schedule isn't going to change. In fact, I'm going to extend my stay in Tri-Mounts. In my last meeting, I decided I'm going to Ryan's lab to enjoy a fruitful dialogue with our exceptional researchers. We're one Columbia, Colonel Blake. We're all ready to give everything for our country. But with all the technological pioneers gathered in the city, they form from the bedrock of Columbia's technological department. It's no exaggeration to say they're shaping the future of our country.
Like, I think the bird's the actual... Yeah, the bird's probably the president, while Mr. Jackson is the vice president, of course.
Do you understand what I'm getting at?
And I would vote for the bird too.
Even on the assembly lines of our nation's most developed munitions plants, it takes a day and a half to produce a single shell to spec. And that doesn't include the time it takes to send it out to the field to give the men some real practical time on the thing. Take a step back, Colonel. The more we find ourselves facing super weapons that can change the world, like that Arc-01, that Arc-01, the more composed we have to be. This is Columbia, not Sargon, not Bolivar. These past few years, the armed forces, or more accurately, the Department of Defense, has continued to explore the nation's military capabilities. As a whole, progress has been fairly steady. From the president's perspective, this is a good thing, and he is glad to see it happen. However, given the shifts in international dynamics in the recent years, particularly the re-emergence of Victoria's Shard, a number of things have changed. Such a terrifying superweapon has erased the concept of distance. All our ground defenses will be rendered useless, and the dust brought about by the storm may well fall upon our pillows at any time. The voices within the Department of Defense have grown increasingly hawkish, and a number of troubling signs have already appeared. They're hedging their bets on the research and development of a similar era-defining strategic weapons. And that's how Kristen caught the military's eye? Correct. Kristen's become the military's core technological advisor. Or technical advisor. In a very short period of time, she submitted the proposal for the Horizon Arc project, planned the construction of the Arc-01 superweapon, and quickly began its implementation. The military has devoted a vast amount of resources to it, and as such, Ryan Lab has enjoyed greater policy side support for quite some time now. This is why Ryan has been able to stand head and shoulders above many other tech companies and trimouts. According to the information we have on hand, the construction of Arc-01 required digging complex SHAFT, as well as erecting HRR at our aircraft's altitude limit.
Okay.
A monumental project indeed, and the military has spared no expense in that effort. I imagine the man in front of you who fell from the sky was part of this project.
Saria's eyes shift from the factory ruins to the sky above her.
Using the sky as an intermediary transfer node? We don't know the specific conceptual design or how it's implemented. Using the sky as a transfer node to focus or redirect an enormous amount of energy so as to achieve a powerful strike over extreme distance. In theory, that is indeed possible. But would Kristen really help the military construct a superweapon? Looks like you didn't get the answer you wanted. I knew from the beginning. This just makes it more apparent. A good politician would never rush to make his stance clear. At least for now, they don't want us taking over the project that fast.
Do I think Kristen worked with the military by choice or forced? By choice, because she's like, yo, they're gonna let me do stuff with the sky? Heck yeah! It's like, I wanna do this, fine. I'll help you with your little weapon as long as I can do stuff in the sky and you guys won't punish me. Foo foo foo.
And how do they intend to do that? It's simple. All I needed to do was delay. If we say that efficiency is the pursuit of scientific research, then, Ferdinand, delay is the preferred tool of these politicians. When the Singh's administration first entered negotiations in Congress to reclaim the Woods Company's logging camp, virtually no progress was made in 3 years. It took the latter party losing control of the area. They want to delay until we have our hands full, until we lose faith in that damned Horizon Arc project. It doesn't matter anymore. You've already been on site, right? What are your conclusions? It was indeed the test flight of Arc-01's HRR. The sky appears clear, but it is far from being a safe haven. Kristen will need to test the new pressure and navigation system, a trial and error process that may need more than one flight. I'm more curious about the military-controlled SHAFT at the bottom of Arc-01. Where did Kristen launch a beast of that size? The HRR's black box still hasn't been found. By tracing its routing data, we can triangulate the position of the launch site and locate Kristen. We already conducted a full-scale search of the District 13. Came up empty. Someone managed to retrieve the black box at the very beginning. Any possibility might have been destroyed, given an explosion of that scope.
Sheik's head.
Kristen has already been missing for 2 weeks. She may have already obtained the experimental data she wanted in the black box, but she still doesn't want us to find her. In other words, the so-called Horizon Arc project, propped up by the military itself, is completely out of the military's hands. The longer the delay, the more variables there will be. I know. It's me. That's right, Jackson had no intention of talking things through with us. Me? Why would I have anything to hide? Go ask the agent sent to spy on Kristen. Understood. I won't give an inch. I'll resolve the situation post-haste. Wait, what did you say? That's... Alright, I understand. You don't look so good, Colonel. You're right, Ferdinand. We can't let ourselves get bogged down any longer. The fact that Kristen went AWOL, while the military had eyes on her, precisely shows that the project has progressed to a near feasible state. She might have defrauded her investors. We have our suspicions as well, but you seem pretty sure of it, Zarya. Because I know her well enough. Oh? Since its establishment, Ryan's lab has been committed to breakthrough research in civilian technology and rarely intersects with the military. Kristen herself has no interest in it. Furthermore, if the sky were part of her research plans, it would not be a means but rather her ultimate objective. The rights? Precisely. We haven't even explored everything these lands have to offer, and have only just begun measuring the heights of the skies. Why fly to such high places in vain? I still remember that comment in the newspaper made by the hovercraft expert, Stevenson, after the Wright's test flight crashed. It encapsulated his regret for the death of the genius scientist, but has been twisted out of context as accurate peer review. How ironic that it's become a weapon used against the Wrights. I'd like to hear more. Stevenson had a very good relationship with the Wrights, and even looked after Kristen to some degree after their passing. Later, Kristen was able to get back on track in academia thanks to his recommendation. A substantial secret that even I'm not aware of. But the relationship between Stevenson and Kristen is not a cozy one. She inherited her parents' obsession with the skies, and does not expect others to understand. She abhors the sky, Tin Man. It can't be a coincidence that transmitter appeared at the scene of the accident. But what exactly is the connection between transmitter and the explosion? Did the things used in the factory require transmitters? I recall no such relationship between Triton Chemicals and Ryan's lab. Or perhaps the transmitter has something to do with this ring-shaped mechanical object that smashed through the factory building. Zarya's too far away. I can't hear what she's saying. Maybe I can try moving the drone a bit closer. And of course the drone will be shot down. An unidentified drone has been shot down. Oh no. Miss, show me your security clearance. Don't have one. District 13 is under temporary lockdown. I'm gonna have to ask you to come with me. I'm a worker at the Triton factory. I had the day off today, but I heard the factory exploded, so I came here to see what's going on. If you're working at the factory, then explain the drone, and don't say you have nothing to do with it. She's going to photograph the site. Oh, fancy, fancy. Marianne? Is it really you? Oh my god! Marianne. Marianne, I love your design. You look so bouge. The last time I heard that name was 40 years. You're talking about that press conference, right? It was right around that time your last movie came out. You told the world that you got hurt at a catastrophe while shooting that thing, and he retired you behind the scenes work. My dad goes nuts every time he talks about you. He's got your complete filmography collection, and we watched every movie 10 times over. I still remember the spy catchers. You caught the spy on the shore and leapt straight off that cruise ship. That was something. You just melt into every role you play. Today's mass-produced Rankwood stars could take a cue or two from you.
Thanks. Unfortunately, the only role Marianne plays these days is as a negotiator of employee salaries.
You're...
Director of Human Resources at Rhine Lab, Jara Booker Wilson. This is my clearance. I have a house in District 13. This woman is indeed a Triton employee. Rhine Lab and Triton Chemicals had a number of disagreements, just like the corporate struggles in the spy catcher.
I know. This is Trimont after all.
A subsidiary factory suddenly went up in flames. If photos from the scene hit the tabloids, it would send Triton down into a scandal. This is her housewarming gift for joining Rhine. That would indeed be a violation of military regulations. Fortunately, the drone's been shot down so the photos won't leak. Now then, let's move on and discuss your job hopping. Sure. Thank you, Marianne/Jara. But let me add something first. Isn't it a little unreasonable to suddenly ask the locals to lock themselves inside and wait for updates before they can do anything?
We're just following orders. Miss Marianne, I want to trust you, so both of you, please leave. No exceptions.
Your name's Silence, right? I remember you were helping Parvis bring me some black bean tea. The tea. Director Jara, does this have something to do with Rhine Lab? That's why you snuck in here. There are some things I need to make sure of. This isn't exactly the best place for chit-chat. Head over there and wait for me. Where are we? Don't worry, it's my District 13 residence. What about you? I have company. An old friend has some business with me. I don't think I've ever heard you breathing when you smoke. Are you just letting it swirl around your stomach?
It's a habit. Just like what you used to do after finishing a mission. You record the event on a note before burning it on the spot. That young researcher back there, you always have a soft spot for the youth.
Can't really ignore it, can I? An employee of my own company shows up in a military lockdown. It'd be bad for business if she gets caught.
I see you're just as attentive to details ever, regardless of what field you're in. You've caught my eye a number of times over the years, from the intermediary investor for all of Trimont to the head of Rhine HR. You've contributed pretty much your entire network to this techno company. In other words, without you, we wouldn't have the Kristen we know today. So is you being here right now also the fault of that reckless girl? Or do you have ideas of your own?
Have you considered the possibility that I'm here because I bought a residence in District 13, and that I spend a few days here when I'm not too busy? I'm getting old, Tin Man. Age notwithstanding, when I came back to my senses, I realized that my health, my dreams, my friends, and my family had all been given to my country. In the end, nothing remained of Maylander's Morning Star. I don't even have any tapes of the movies I made when I was young, by which to remember my so-called youth.
I wasn't trying to point the finger at you, Jara. But if you're hoping that I turn a blind eye to this, I'm afraid I can't help you. Maylander's only responsibility is to the country.
I just wanted to tell you I have no regrets, so even now, I won't do anything that would truly harm Columbia.
Are you still mourning the death of the rights? As much as I like to deny it, that scene still haunts my dreams even now. Delivery. Come sign for it. Put it on the workstation.
Hoheok scans the space in front of her. A massive hollow underground ring-shaped structure, in other words, a well. Originium lamps fastened to the well's walls provided only basic lighting, making it difficult to determine the overall depth. Inlaid with grooves running across the walls were cables extending into the darkness. The person with whom she was speaking earlier is now pacing back and forth, leaving her with but a busy silhouette. She seems to be busy testing something. Even in such a deep area, her actions do not seem to cause much of an echo. Presumably the surface structure incorporates some high-performance sound-absorbing material. The entire area seems to be as still and silent as lingering mist.
Are you not afraid of the dark? Do you not get bored? We're several hundred meters underground, and those boorish soldiers are patrolling just above us. You've been here a number of months, right? Haven't gone up for a walk? Nasty?
Oh, Nasty looks cool.
I'm busy. Kuukuken. I don't have much free time on my hands either. What I'm saying is, put the black box down and get lost. I'm taking a risk here to get this to you under the watchful eyes of the military and Maylander. That's a bit cold of you, wouldn't you agree? This is a deal between you and Control. It's got nothing to do with me.
Ooh, hello, hello. Thank you for the raid. Hi, hi.
You didn't do anything with the black box after you got your hands on it, did you? No. Damn, ice cold. The data calculations are, well, not that complicated.
Nasty dives back into her own work, and the screen is once again engulfed with a large amount of data, like a tide flooding across land. She focuses up more, leaving Hoheok alone to do little else than stare at her back. That is when she notices the devices around her waist. They appear as a lattice of dead branches, spliced together irregularly. But as Nasty intermediately works at her station, they sway back and forth in a short, regular rhythm. As if sentient, they seem to be following Nasty's thoughts.
Looks like you managed to find nourishment for the rootless branches. Humph. The trajectory data has deviated slightly from the previous calculation, but is still within the expected range. It appears that transmitter can indeed be used as an alternative navigation resource. That being the case, we need to speed things up. By the way, how did Kristen get you, the head of engineering, to willingly coop yourself up underground to do the hard work for her?
Nasty doesn't answer. She enters a few commands, and as the screens in front of her go dark one by one, she turns and heads towards the door. Behind her, the underground space becomes dimmer and dimmer.
Ready to touch some grass, Nasty? Did something good happen? Surely you're not going to keep the good news from me? In sarcasm, begone.
Hoheok takes a step back upon hearing that one word. Her body instinctively carries out the order, as if executing a command.
Cute curse you have there, Banshee. Did any of the staff ever tell you you've got a bad temper?
The icy cold air caresses Nasty's neck before dissipating like an illusion. The young Banshee shivers slightly. A crack forms across the bone pen in her hand. Nasty's cool. And the fact that she has Banshee powers makes her even cooler.
Oh my. They don't quite make Oh my, they don't quite make them like they used to, do they? I know you have an entire drawer filled with spares. But I've always been curious, if you broke all your bone pens, would you still be able to perform your little tricks?
Oh, she has to use bone pens to do her magic, huh? Still cool.
Go ahead and try me. I won't give the same command twice, Koken. Fine, fine. Are all banshees as much of a stick in the mud as you? Don't pass up on the rare opportunity to get some fresh air. If you're afraid of the dark, I don't mind keeping you company part way.
No, it's not too surprising seeing another Banshee, considering that this event already showed Mr. Tin Man, who's also, I assume, you know, a sarcasm, just based on how he's talking about being there for Teresa's ascension. So of course it'd be even more sarcasm. Before the Banshee can speak again, Hoheok nimbly disappears behind the door. The darkness lingering within the air trembles violently for a spell. Then Nasty finally lets go of her words. Ugh. I should go pick her up. At last, the mild dream is about to settle. Mysterious, ooh.
爆発や歓声の伴わない戦闘にはなかなか慣れないな。帰ろう。
Of course I love my Nobu inside of FGO.
しておく。
Though I don't have the original Archer Nobu, I only have Berserker and Avenger. But it's okay. Let's see, I gotta look at the other thingies here. Was it this one? No, not that one, my bad. Stare. Yeah, I can't investigate yet, unfortunately. Big oof. Part of me wants to continue more, but at the same time, I feel some fear if it gets like... That one section was just so long. I have an assignment. Yeah, I have like an assignment that's due tomorrow, aka a paper, as one does. And I didn't start on it. But it's okay, I still have plenty of time. But at the same time, you know, maybe I should start on it. I have mixed feelings. Oh, the struggle with homework. Homework, why you gotta be a thing and a thing that hurts me so? I don't appreciate it, homework. But no, I probably should be good though, like legit. So let's see. Don't mind me. Stare. Stare, stare, stare. But yeah, I guess I'll do my paper, or at least work on my paper. It shouldn't be too bad. So let's see. Luckily, it's not too bad. I think I'm pretty good at like rushing assignments, which is good, but at the same time kind of bad considering, you know. But yeah, I think I'll be somewhat good. So let's see. Don't mind me staring real quick. Not sure how many streams I'm gonna do next week for Arknights. It'll depend on my schedule. You know, as one do. I gotta stay at the schedule because I do want to also stream Star Rail. I feel bad. I want to do more in that game, but at the same time, there's been too many other things for other games. Man. Yeah, just like mixed feelings. I gotta just see what my schedule's like next week too. I shouldn't have any big events at work. Like how this week I had to be up at 5 something on Monday and then I had to be up at 6 something today for work. But yeah, so many fun events to play. I know that next week, the next like Guda Guda event's supposed to come out in FGO. But no, I don't want to go on for the CW2 because I do have a paper to work on. Like legit, I do have a paper that I didn't start on. It's like, why didn't you start on it sooner, Misaki? Because I had work. I had to work from like 6 a.m. this morning. And after I got home, I thought to myself, you know what? I want to just sit down for a little while and rest my soul before my stream, as one do, aka just stare into the void for like a bit. Try to not like suffer too much. But yeah, now it's time to suffer and work on homework. But yeah, with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and epic gacha luck. Like, whoops, my bad. Time to be a decent person and actually work on homework. A decent student. Like, I think I got good grades so far, and I should keep it up before I get bonked, you know? But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. And away we go for now. Boop. Plus I'm frozen anyways, fun.